Hi guys, 2025 is almost ending, as you may know, and I decided to make a video because my year has been pretty intense and a lot of things happened, like a lot of mindset shifts, a lot of events that just altered me in some sort of way. And I hope that this video can be useful for you in order not to fall into the same mistakes as you did in 2025 and to let them in this year. Don't bring them into 2026. This year was so weird. I mean, it was very weird because already in the first day they start, I argued with my family. And then the rest of the year was completely like a roller coaster. It was constantly up and downs, and a lot of events that I couldn't even imagine happening actually happened. Like everything I was afraid to happen manifested into my life. It was actually crazy how, the plot twist went like. It felt like a version of me, a part of me that constantly was living in me for the whole years actually was murdered in this year. I feel like I've matured a lot because I started to find peace in myself. I started to accept more things about myself, but also a lot of things that basically belong to me in terms of who I am were actually lost in this year. And they transformed into something else. I feel like I've become more wise. This is why I feel nostalgia between the version that I was before and the version that I am now. But a lot of events shaped me into becoming that version. I've been alone for the whole time. I haven't received any support. I mean, it's not like I've received that much support through my life, but this year I was completely lost, I had nobody near my side. Only when things started to become better for me and I fought for myself and started to survive, I started to notice that more people started to take my side on certain kind of things. But I promise you that this was the hardest year for me because I was completely alone. Like I had no support, and being a teenager and facing all of this stuff alone is something so devastating sometimes. But I promise you that no matter what you go through, no matter what the obstacle is, how large it is, if you decide to learn from the obstacle that you're facing, whether it's not your fault that you feel like that, because as I said, maybe you can be bullied by people that are just jealous or envious at you or other reasons. If you just learn the lesson, or if you just learn to adapt to that certain kind of situation, if you look for the positive outlook, I promise you that you'll come out stronger. You'll come out more mature, and then people will feel guilty for doing that thing to you, At the end of the day, I think that nobody cares if you're in that situation until you actually find the solutions. And I know it hurts to say it that way because I've been alone too for the whole time, but I have not received any support. It was only me, myself, and I supporting myself constantly having hope. You see, things will get better. Everything will start to work your way. I started to affirm those positive affirmations to myself, and it actually turned into reality. I feel like I manifested a sort of negative reality years ago, and it manifested into this year. The things that I went through this year actually altered my brain under some aspects, and I just had to adapt to those situations. I had no other path. I had no other choice, no other solution. No, I just said that. I just need to adapt to the situation. So for this 2026, please, cut off that friendship that constantly makes you feel bad for being yourself. Cut off that person that constantly talks bad about you or just, makes you feel insecure because they're insecure of themselves. Start not to care about the bully that constantly tells bad things about you or wants to plot against you or just, spread rumors about you because they're envious or jealous of you. Literally, don't reply to them, both externally and internally. This is the best solution to cope with bullies. Start to become more disciplined. Start to look for things that you can control inside of yourself, Start to go to the gym. Start to eat healthy. Start to read books. Start to train your mind. Start to learn more things. Be motivated and, turn yourself into the highest version of yourself. Go get a piece of paper and journal how you feel out. If you don't know what journaling is writing down how you feel. Just, You blindly write down the emotions that you feel and you self-reflect on them. You highlight the most important parts and you tell yourself, why do I feel like this? And it works. Every time I journal, I feel more relaxed. It's a relaxation technique, but also self-introspection method. Keep your circle aligned with your morals. Don't let people that are negative, people that constantly want to stay stuck on their level, on their negativity, get control of yourself. Only keep peace for yourself. Keep people who are positive, people who are determined, people who are lovable, people who have goals, who have ambitions, admirations. You need these people in your life. You don't need people that constantly suck out of your energy, because those people are bad for you. And I say it out loud because I felt that in my core for the whole year, and I'm tired of this. So this is why I'm, excogitating my escape plan and finally living to my highest version, because I deserve love and I deserve to live like my highest version would live. Let go of the past. Let go of whatever happened yesterday. The only time you should look back at the past is to learn what the lesson that thing taught you. If you already learned the lesson, don't go back to the past. It could even be 1 second ago, but if 1 second ago you learned the lesson, don't go back to that. Okay? You need to stay focused on the present moment. The soul needs the present moment. There's no future, there's no past. The future can be planned, but what matters is the present. And lastly, I promise you, no matter who bullied you, no matter who talked behind your back, no matter who spread rumors about you, no matter who harassed you, no matter how isolating you felt, no matter who betrayed you, all of these things happened to me this year, but I want to thank God to be near my side all of the times, because those people finally got their karma. And I know that, when you just don't let narcissists win and take control over you, that's when they lose. When you constantly move on to your life and you don't pay attention to what they're doing, this is what they lose, and they will feel guilty and regret for what they did. Their bad actions will be hell for their mind. And I want to thank God, because right now I feel more at peace with myself. I still have to master certain kind of things, but I want to thank God. Thank you, God, because genuinely you got me out of a toxic situation. You got me out of a dark place where I wanted to, not be there anymore. I need to thank God and thank myself for being strong enough to handle all of that. And I promise you that you can be strong enough too to handle all of this mess. I love you, and I hope that 2026 will finally teach you more things and you can finally free yourself from all of the drama you've been going through. Bye.